Look.
Hi there, Srinivas here.
Did you miss me?
So I've been making a bunch of videos on trying to find out what is causing this wobbling issue on my motorcycle. So if you want to find out, stick around and watch the video till the end.
I've had this motorcycle for like 2 years now and not once did it wobble. So why now? And I know a lot of you were asking me questions when I was posting videos initially. Like, hey, are you facing any wobbling issues and all? And I was happy to report that I wasn't facing any wobbling issues. None whatsoever. Because I ride very sensibly and normally. I usually avoid rains and puddles on the road. You know, sometimes the issue can be just a difference in the tire pressure. So usually what RoyalEnfield recommends is 32 psi in the front and 36 in the rear. So I said, okay, fair enough. And I got them checked. It was 29 and 31. So naturally I got them up to the mark. How do you test the wobbling? Take it up to 60 or maybe more than that and leave your hands. Look. Do you see? That's scary. The second issue is the cone set. The ball bearing underneath should be replaced. And then the cone set also needs to be tightened down below.
So I got the bearing checked and turns out it was intact. I also got the cone set checked and that was intact also. There is a blue waterproof grease inside which was pretty much there. There was nothing wrong with it.
Number 3 scenario, you check the fork oil levels on both the suspensions ahead. Which again to me doesn't make sense because the oil inside the fork doesn't go anywhere. So why would the levels drop unless it's leaking?
Needless to say, I got my fork oil checked as well. Now, there is a very interesting way of measuring the fork oil levels. You actually measure the air gap, and the recommended air gap in each fork is between 165mm to 170mm. And mine was about 168, which was okay. And really, you don't really need to check fork oil levels unless there is a visible oil leak on the forks.
And after doing all that, after doing all of that, guess what? The wobbling issue was still there. Still there! So the technician advised me to get the wheels aligned, get the wheel alignment done. I was pretty desperate to sort this issue out once and for all. So I was like, yes, go ahead and let's just do it. And he did that and he assured me that now the wobbling issue should not be there. So just try it out and test it again. So I did.
So if I let go of the handlebars at 80, it doesn't wobble at all. So it turns out in my specific case, the wheel alignment was what was off.
Yes! The wobbling issue is solved. Issue sorted. Wheel alignment. Cool. I rode the motorcycle back home and I compiled all the GoPro footages that I had collected over the few days and weeks. The next morning, to my horror, both the tires were deflated. I was beyond disappointed by now. I just didn't know what caused this. I tried to find out, and you know, when a 200 kilogram motorcycle has both the tires punctured, it's quite difficult to take it to the next gas station and get it checked for airflow and air leaks and airflow and all that. I did that. There was no puncture. I just didn't know that if I had made some enemies who were doing this to me, why? Why would they do that to me? What am I doing wrong?
Do I feel lucky?
The guy couldn't figure out how I had lost air in my tires and he just filled it up. Okay, I took the motorcycle back to the office. Great, started working. I come back in the evening, the tires are deflated again. What is the universe doing to me?
No, it wasn't me.
You know what I found out? The guy who was doing the wheel alignment tightened this. I mean, of course, you are supposed to tighten the spokes. He tightened it so hard that the Outex kit that I had installed inside the tires, that came off. And as a result, the air is now leaking between the spokes. There is no puncture. So again, I took it back to Speed Monks, and while they were looking at it, I got myself front YSS adjustable suspensions, but more on that later. So they repaired the Outex kit on both the wheels, and great. This is now, I wasn't really thinking about the wobbling issue at all. I just wanted to fix the Outex kit first. So that happened, and then I thought maybe, okay, now that was the issues, maybe that's why the tires will be wobbling.
Checking again. Oh yeah, it's happening. What do I do with this thing?
Turns out the tires are still wobbling. So the final issue was, so then Torque Block is one company that a friend of mine suggested on Instagram. They're based in Bangalore, amazing people. I bought Timsun tires from them. Harder compound, a warranty of 17,000 kilometers, 17. And I go to Speed Monks and I install the tires.
Now, changing the tires is very simple job. Turns out, Pirelli Phantom Sport have a soft compound and need to be changed after 7,000 to 8,000 kilometers. And I have ridden my motorcycle for about 13,000 kilometers. Shocking, I know. Meaning very few options for you to get new tires. Now I didn't want to go one size down because that would mean getting alloy wheels for the motorcycle, which is another experiment altogether. Put the bike on the jack, a couple of screws here and there, and off comes the brake pads. And off comes the wheel. Use the hydraulic machine to get the tires out. After doing some research on the market, I got to know that these days no one is importing tires. On top of that, Interceptor has an 18-inch wheelbase, meaning very few options for you to get new tires. Now I didn't want to go one size down because that would mean getting alloy wheels for the motorcycle, which is another experiment altogether. Open the new tires and put on some soap solution so that it doesn't get cut while it is being put on. And there you have it. Same procedure on the rear tire. A couple of screws here and there. And off comes the wheel. I only had 2 punctures since installing the Outex kit a year and a half ago. Outex kit is really a great and totally worthy addition to your motorcycle. If you have the budget, don't hesitate. Just go for it. Now this looks great.
Okay.
Now the only thing left is to test it out there in the open.
Let's test the wobbling issue again. Take it to 100. Nothing. Let's do it again. Nothing. I love it. So basically, the issue was I had to change the tires. Rest everything was okay. Man, to think I went to such an extent to do so many things, I should have just changed the tires.